last 4 into the semi-finals, and really pleased to kick off and talk to the Carew coach, Ceri Brace, who's with us on the show after their 5-1 victory after extra time. That was some additional time, that 5-1 win. It was 1-1 after 90 minutes. Ceri, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me on. Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, thank you for joining us. Tell us about the game, because all square after 90 minutes and then a 5-1 win.
It was mad, really. They, first and foremost, they were, without trying to big Carew up, they were quality. And we knew they were going to be a good side. We did a bit of digging. And I think the beauty of the Wales Cup lads is you sometimes don't know who you're playing against. Like, you don't have a clue who they are. And we looked through their lineups and didn't recognise any names. They wouldn't know who we are from Adam. And we knew they were a very technical team. They popped their pass it, but we turned up in the first 10 minutes. The way they passed the ball, I thought, oh my God, we're going to struggle here. And the boys, sometimes this year haven't been the fittest. They do like a pint on a Friday night. So, it was 1-1 at full time. We should have won it in normal time. They scored very late with a slight deflection. Boys were gutted at full time. And, myself and Scott spoke to the boys at full time and just said, look, it's in the locker. And we somehow scored 4 goals in extra time. And the disappointing thing was, without sounding really strange, chaps, because it was 5-1, a lot of boys have gone to me, well, they must have been rubbish. They weren't. Like, I wouldn't have minded winning 2-1 and thinking, oh, that's a good result. But no, we did deserve it, and the boys were excellent.
Going into the extra time period, Ceri, I know you haven't spoke much about the game, but you were awarded a penalty, which
Stonewall.
Whitfield put away, but what was it given for?
Handball. So we had I can't remember, to be honest. We had a ball far on the right hand side, and someone had a snapshot, and the boy he's gone to block it, and he saved it. Like it was just inside the box, and Adam Muscat has missed 3 out of 6, and even though he's a very good friend of mine, he was not on penalties. The boys were arguing on the bus, so fair play to Sean Whitfield. I did watch it. I don't watch penalties. I'm a bit superstitious like that, so I turned away, and luckily Robert Scurfield was in my eye line, and he just gave a massive fist pump, so I knew Sean had scored. Yeah.
Brace, I know it's a journey Carew been on not so long ago, wasn't it? If you go back to 2019, we always remember the final against Merlin's Bridge, great cup run from you guys. I know you're bittersweet, obviously, that you didn't win the final, but I know the nucleus of that squad that made it there is still there now. A couple of boys have moved on, but you just mentioned there, Sean Whitfield was part of it, you and Izzard and so on. Is that helping in this cup run? Because you do need something about you in the West Wales Cup. You do need to go to difficult places and win. You've got to put up with crowds, physical contests, that sort of thing.
It's a good point, Face. We try to keep that nucleus in Carew. It's myself and Scott Richards needs a bit of credit. Well, he needs a lot of praise. Scott is with myself doing the side, and
he played, of course, in that game for you.
Scott is the most injured bloke ever. Like he broke his leg.
I know.
He did Ironman 6 months later. That's crazy. But no, we felt that we needed a couple of signings. What's important to us at Carew, Fraser, is that we keep it local, if I'm honest, and that's not digging out other sides, because there's no right or wrong way to play football. But yeah, we've got the likes of Ewan, but Ewan's not played all year. That's his second game, coming back from his exploits in Bali, obviously being in business. But we've got Ewan Izzard, we've got Tom Davis in goal. Tom was a little bit in and out at the start of the year, but has cemented his place, and fair play to him. It was tough. As I said, Sean Whitfield. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and we've got boys like Tom Cole who's come in, the Rennie boy, who's played Division 3 last year. He's a good mate of mine, but to come in...
Also, you've got the experience of Marcus Griffiths, who played Welsh football as well. He must be an asset.
Yeah, so Griff's a bit crazy, to be honest. He's one of the best footballers I've ever worked with, coach, whatever. Yeah. He don't have to be coached, because he's played with better coaches than myself, but he can play anywhere across the front three. He played centre midfield for the last half an hour, and he runs 5Ks in less than 20 minutes. So he's very important to us. But as Fraser said, you need that experience. But we've gone a little bit gun-ho this year. We've thrown a load of youngsters in. And I think sometimes those boys that don't fear anyone, like you've got Archie Smith, the kid's 19, well. He was the best player on the park against Hakin. And I don't know Scott very well at Hakin, but he'll admit, and all the Hakin boys, second half we battered them. And I don't mind sticking up for the Carew boys against Hakin. We hammered them second half. And how we didn't win, let alone draw, I don't know. And Hakin are, for me, are favourites to win the West Wales, I'll be honest. But the fact that we hammered them second half was... And Archie should have scored 2. And we've got Charlie Perkins is coming from Hundleton, who's playing for Hundleton seconds last year. Tom Cole, Sam Southcott from Penner has been one of the best signings in recent years.
Good player.
Good player.
He's quality. He doesn't say much, but no, we've got a really nice mix of experience and some youthfulness. Gareth Lewis, obviously, has been hugely involved, but unfortunately for us, Gareth is a very good coach and he's heavily involved with Hartford under-19s. So Gareth hasn't played as much as he would have liked this year, and he played in the 3rd Saturday. So
he might be available now.
He might be, but he won't get picked. No, I'm very open to bribes, though, especially in the bar. But, no, Gareth played in the 3rds. Sorry, Fraser.
You mentioned Hakin there, Brace, and you're right. It is fair to say that they're favourites when you look at the league. Obviously, the league position. Or I say the league position. Hakin have got a load of games in hand, but maybe points to games ratio in terms of them. You care, but. Have you got any preference? Would you rather place them in the semi-final, especially having had a game where you know you've competed against them lately, or would you rather keep them away?
It's difficult because, as you know, football is everything to me personally, and Hakin, we know how good Hakin are. And I think, if we were to draw Hakin would fancy beating Carew, and we think we'd beat Hakin. So it would be nice to perhaps draw someone else, because it's nice to play other teams that you don't know, because you always play Hakin twice a year. Penlan, I've not been involved with. I know what Penlan are a little bit about, following the Swans, and we know what their sort of boys like. And
quiet bunch.
Quiet boys. Morriston's always a quiet game. And St. Joseph's, I know they beat Clarbeston Road early on, and what I spoke to the Clarby boys last week, felt they should have won. I know St. Joseph did have the boy Kyle Kopp playing, who was involved with the Swans, and he's left. So, I think at this stage, it's a bit of a lottery now, isn't it? You've done all the hard work to get here. It'll be on the day. So,
and Kerry's not far away either, is it? The turnaround is quick. The draw will be soon, because
it should be this week.
Semi-finals 2 weeks away.
2 weeks tomorrow is the first one. The one is the day after. We don't get told. Timmy Hicks always just WhatsApps me as soon as he gets it. He's got fingers in pies, that boy. So who knows? But whoever it is, we'll embrace it, and we'll bring the half. Hopefully, all the village will come and we'll just get to the final.
It must have been sorry, Fraser. Just to finish, it must have been some dressing room though. You said 5-1 maybe flattered you.
Yeah, it was.
It must have been somebody. Yeah.
I think the boys who were most delighted was me, Scott Richards, and Muttley, Russell Knox, because we've obviously got this huge speaker, and the boys were absolutely shattered. I've not seen a dressing room like it where boys have just collapsed, but it was bouncing, in fairness. It was mad, but the boys.
What was on the speaker? So I have to ask that.
If it's me, it's Ronan Keating. But
is it?
Yes, that comes back to last year. Life's a roller coaster, but I'm actually banned from it. So I think the quietest man in the world, Curtis Hurlow, was on it, but his battery died halfway. So that his battery died on the pitch as well, because I've never known a boy go down so much for cramp. I don't know how centre halves have cramp. But,
letting you get carried away for a moment, mate. Like, I'll let you. Beyond the semi-final, you'll take care of that.
I had a squash and I was in bed by 9.
a final at the Swansea.com, mate. I know it's a place like myself, you close to your heart. It's been a lot, maybe not so much lately. Hopefully, it's not been great down there. But to lead Carew out at Swansea, that would surely mean everything to you.
Yeah, I had a moment with my father after the game, and without sounding really daft, chaps, football means a lot to me. I've watched the Swans for nearly 25 years, and it would mean a lot. It's really difficult at the moment, because I have thought about the changing rooms and all that sort of stuff. But if we lose in the semis, then we've had a great run. I'll be absolutely gutted. But cricket growing up was my sport. I've won Harrison Allens. I've done really well with my cricket. But if I'm completely honest, if I was manager of Carew at the Liberty, that would be the pinnacle of sport for me, and that would never be topped, because they're not just Carew, they're my best mates. And I drink with them on Sundays, Saturdays, and obviously we have been there before, and I begged Turk to pick me, even though I didn't play 1 minute for the first team that year. I begged him to pick me, and he was like, "Gary, shut up. You're not in there. You'll be the first 25, let alone the first 50."
Interesting something you say there, actually, Kev. You say they are your best mates. The players are your best mates. And you are, as it goes, still relatively young in management terms. Even in local football, the dynamic has got younger over the last decade or so. Do you find that difficult? That you are in charge of your best mates? You do have to make difficult decisions. You're going to have to make difficult decisions coming up. Obviously, you've got a West Wales Cup semi-final.
It's hard because I did the seconds last season, and that was probably a little bit more of a knee-jerk reaction after COVID. We all miss football and sport, don't we, chaps? And I was asked to do the seconds. And for the first time in our history, we got to the second division. That wasn't down to me. That was down to the players. I think we invented a new formation. We somehow won every game by 1 goal. And then the AGM come and Robert Skirfield and Jeremy Griffiths Carrot stood down. And the boys were going to go after some, other coaches around the counter. And it was asked, would I like to do it? And I said, I'd love to. And it was difficult to start. I think the worst thing that we did was we beat Bridge 4-1 first game.
I remember that, yeah.
And they won 10 on the bounce. And I think the problem was, I'll admit, I thought this is easy, isn't it? We picked the best players. We had the likes of Jordan Richards. Yeah, Jordan Richards who's on the bridge, who's one of the best players I've ever seen live. Sam Christopher has gone to Bridge. He's so quick. His pace, I thought we'd miss, and we did for a couple of games. But we've tried to rejig the way that we play. We lost a couple of players, and they've tried to bet themselves, which there's no problem there. But it's given probably boys who are a little bit more local more opportunity. It's given Tom Cole an opportunity. It's given Marcus Griffiths a chance. James Hinchliffe has been in and out the side. Who I've got to mention is Carew through and through. He missed an absolute sitter in the 90th minute. In full time, and I could.
He made up for it. He scored your third.
That's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah,
James is one of the most annoying footballers ever because he will. In fairness to him, the ball got played long. He chested it down, took it down, chipped the keeper from 20 yards, and it was and that was 3-1 game over. And it was nice to see. And it's a bit corny because we're playing amateur football. The boys play football on the day off. The whole squad ran and just jumped on him. And for me, that was it. And I just thought, and it is corny because the boys work Monday to Friday. You're playing amateur football. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you want to have that level of professionalism. You want to get that balance, if that makes sense, because you're playing Pembrokeshire. Well, obviously it was West Wales Cup, but you're playing for Carew Village, and when James scored and the whole squad jumped on me, and that was a lovely moment. So yeah,
Kerry, it sounds like you're loving each day.
That was terrible. Life's a roller coaster when you play for Carew.
We should talk about the league though, because obviously with a semi-final now 2 weeks away, opponents to be drawn. You've got Goodwick next, haven't you? I think Goodwick were 4-2 winners against Kilgetty. Is it Goodwick coming up this Saturday for you?
Goodwick Saturday. I'm not going to give too much away. I'm not here Saturday. I'm actually at the races. No, I'm joking. We
which bit are you joking about? Which bit are you joking about? I'm
actually at a bloke's 70th birthday, which is thing. No, start of the year we tried to win the league. We're not going to win the league. I would be very naive to say, we're still in the shout. Carew will not win the first division this year. We're not consistent enough. Goodwick are our side at the minute that we just can't beat. Well, we've had a good record against them recently under Robert. Me and Scott struggle against Goodwick. I don't mind saying they don't play any football in their own half. They get it into the opposition half and they play. And they've scored 4 goals against us in both games. Credit where it's due. It'll be tough Saturday. Absolutely no excuses whatsoever. We will prioritise the cup. It would be bloody stupid, if I'm honest, boys, if we didn't. But no, we'll play Goodwick. It's good to have momentum. I think we've lost 1 in 11 now, or 1 in 10, whatever, or 2 in 11, whatever it is. So boys will just want to keep their fitness up. We've got a couple of knocks, if I'm completely honest. We've got Ewan suspended for 3 games, which is crazy. We'll appeal that. We're trying to do that. So Ewan will miss out. But the seconds don't have a game, so we might give some boys opportunities to play against a quality Goodwick side. And yeah, we'll try and affect the top of the table best as we can. We won't win it. The aim next year will be to win the league, and we'll see. We'll see where we go from there. But yeah, Goodacre and Hakin for me, really real quality.
Well, listen, well done on that extra time win on Saturday, because that was some win. 5-1 at Evans and Wiliams. Well done to Hakin as well on their shootout win. Just stay with us for a bit longer, Kerry, if that's okay, because we'll just talk about the results in Division 1 from Saturday, just to round off this part as well. Clarbeston Road 2, Nayland 1, Goodwick 4, Kilgetty 2, Merlin's Bridge 4, Fishguard Sports 1, Moncton 1, Penna 1, and St Ishmael's 2, St Clair's 1. What jumps out for you guys there, Fraser?
Joe Lee scoring for Moncton. I saw that name, I raised my eyebrows, I'll be honest. But we'll see what's gone on there. But on the serious note, actually a good point for Penna. It was struggling there to go to Moncton in that derby and get it, and they needed that as well.
Yeah,
if you don't mind me saying, boys, Penna, sorry to jump in, have got one of the best keepers in the league.
Yeah.
Rory Williams. I talked to him.
Is that who you're trying to sign next season then, is it?
I haven't got enough money, Gordon. He's quality.
Yeah. They've improved as the season's gone on, to be fair to Penna. They had a really difficult start, but they've seemed to have got a stable squad now, and they're playing well, to be fair.
Good club, Penna. Good club.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we will take a moment. We'll be back for the final part. Kerry, thank you very much for being with us. Big well done to everyone at Carew on that win. That was a really good effort, and we'll speak to you again very soon. And good luck to both you and Hakin in the semi-final. We'll look forward to that draw as well. We will be back for the final part of tonight's Pure West Sport next.